I think you guys can see everybody. Buster is obsessed with the coffee bar and the trash can today. Oh, now you're not going to be on the coffee bar? Now you're going to be a good bird? Hmm? You going to be a good bird? Morning, Willie. Is it raining there? It's pouring here. Oh, thank you, Rosie. Rose was my mom's name. We're doing good, thank you. Hello, Gerb. Gerb love. Hey, Willie. I'm going to share with you real quick because as more people come on, I'm expecting a delivery. And I mean, you guys know it makes the dogs go nuts. So just a warning there that when the dogs see a delivery truck, they're going to go insane, and probably the birds. But when they get here, I have to run outside really quickly. My daughter's here behind so that she can see the birds. But if something like that happens and I run out, if you don't mind, just tell everybody I'll be right back in. I appreciate it. Oh, hello, Amanda from Belfast. Wow, thank you for being here. Yeah, the pollen. I've been sending out memes all day about the pollen in the south. It's snowing here. It's our snowing season. Thank you. Yeah, my back deck that's not covered is soaked with rain, and it's just got the yellow like all the way through it from the pollen. It's pretty bad. Buster was singing a little bit because I was playing some music trying to pump him up, and Earl was actually dancing a little bit. He doesn't do that real often, but one thing he does when he likes a song, he goes, woo! Unfortunately, I can't play music during lives or else I get flagged, but I wish I could because especially Buster really, really responds to music. What's everybody doing today? I'm actually just now finally having my breakfast. Hi, Amanda. Oh, wow. Thank you, Helen. Thanks for being here. Oh, thank you, Rosie. I think Earl just said, what's your problem? We've had a really wet winter here in South Carolina. I think in Georgia too. I'm gonna go close my front door because it's getting a lot of back noise. We have a lot of street noise here. We live on a busy road. Mm-hmm. You are right, Willie. Earl just said, aha, that's one of his new phrases. Um, yeah, so Buster is somewhat interested in Earl at times. Um, but Earl is really sassy. Oh, thank you. I've I've been to the well, no, I haven't been to the Gulf Coast, but I've been in Alabama a couple times. My granddaughters live there, or they did. Um, so anyway, I was saying for Lisa's question, come out here, Buster. Earl's a bit of a sassy pants, and he grew up, he previously, before coming here, he was around a lot of dogs, and I don't think they were very nice dogs, and so like he's just when the dogs walk by or something, he'll actually act like he's going to bite them. My dogs are really patient, so it's all good, but for that reason, it's not that I worry so much about Buster, I actually worry more about Earl. He's sassy. And also about his feet, he has club feet. As you can see, he can get around just fine, but he can't fly. When he tries to fly, he just goes straight down. So, to be honest, it's one of the reasons I'm able to have him, because he is, you know, he can be a little on the sassy side. So I don't really have to worry about him, you know, flying around to other birds and things like that. Welcome back, Amanda. There's a few questions I missed last week. Amanda goes back really and looks through a lot of the comments, and I appreciate that. She actually, there were a couple of men on here trying to pick up some ladies. Pretty much any lady that commented, he would comment under them about wanting to speak to him. So I told him, Buster is a ladies' man. So I told him Buster don't appreciate him trying to move in on his ladies on his channel, and that he suggested he go to eHarmony or somewhere like that. But he didn't listen, and he was continuing to do it, so he had to be blocked. So, and I always want to remind you guys too, please don't ever click any links. Anytime we find even a YouTube, somebody shares a video in the links, we delete them, even if we know they're probably okay, just because there is so much spam and things going on. I know one lady, she's actually turned off commenting on her channel over it. I'm not going to do that, because we've been keeping up with it, I think, so. But if you guys see anything odd, you know, just somehow reach out and let us know, because I don't see all the comments. I don't get notifications for all of them, and I am trying to catch up. I'm hoping here soon, like I take one day a week where I try to catch up on comments, so. Let me see if I missed anything. No, he really does enjoy it, visiting the girls. I'll scroll up and see if I missed any other questions, but yes, in fact, there's days that he stalks the door wanting to go out there, but I don't like to take him outside by myself. I feel more comfortable when there's more than one person with him. And I still I want to get him harness trained. That's something we've got to work on, because I really prefer that he go out in a harness. And that's actually, I'm going to go over a couple things that I do that I don't recommend. but that it works for us mostly because our birds can't fly. But I don't want people to watch and then think, oh, this is okay, and then something happen. So Amanda, if I forget to go back over that, will you please send me a gentle reminder? Thank you, Willie. Well, if you, because you're a moderator, you can click the 3 dots, I think, and put held for review. And then I try to go over there about once a day to look for that. Thank you both for doing that. I appreciate it. Yeah, the person commenting under, I don't know that it was a spam account. It may have been. I just think he was hoping to pick up women. Earl said, so he knows what's up. So I guess one of the questions I missed last week, or I think I started on it and got squirreled and forgot, was why does Buster get redirected after pecking the rug? So it just will bring on, it can bring on like hormonal behavior in our experience. So he'll start pecking, and after he pecks so long, he'll start to regurgitate, which is definitely a hormonal issue. He's coming into a hormonal season. Hey Buster, come here. You don't need to chew on it. He's chewing on a laundry basket that was actually my father-in-law's. I really like to preserve it. I have a record albums that belong to my father-in-law in his laundry basket. And I pulled it out because my daughter's going to come look at some of them. And he's in there chewing it up a little bit, so I needed to redirect. But that's why I do that, is because I don't want any hormonal issues. Because they do have a hormone season, usually adult ones, usually a couple times a year, which I believe we're coming into just by the way he was acting with me yesterday. But other things can bring those issues on as well. Primarily diet. Number one, in my opinion, would be sleep. Lack of. They do need a good 12 hours of quiet and dark. Another thing, I guess someone had asked, she's having trouble getting her birds on a sleep schedule because they don't have a bird room. And I have to look that up maybe for some suggestions. Maybe, I don't know how big their birds are. If they were smaller birds, I don't personally suggest sleeping with birds in your room. Not judging anybody that does, because everybody's doing their own thing and their own, everybody knows what's best for their birds. But, even if you had a small little travel type cage, they could go in to a dark area. Even if you had to move them once you guys were going to bed, might be worth it. I would think that it would be better to only disrupt them once of a night than them not getting the 12 hours of sleep and rest that they need. Because they're birds. That was something I was really bad about with Buster initially, and it brought on some pretty bad behaviors, which are almost always geared towards me and my daughters. So if I know a little more about the situation, I might have some suggestions. And then there was one more I missed, and then I'll get to looking to see if you guys have questions. Are you flipping, Buster? Buster's playing the flipping game. Can you guys see Buster and Earl both? Yeah. Somebody asked about the pin feathers. There's a couple really good videos about that. But, yeah, I don't know they really hurt. I think they're just not real comfortable. But, and what I think is happening, they're on his head, which he does get pet on his head plenty, but I don't think I'm bathing him up there good enough. So my husband will rub them out, but you always want to look, because some of those can be blood feathers, and you do not want to pull a blood feather. So anybody interested in that, please, there's a couple really good tutorial type videos about pin feathers. Please watch that. instead of just going, you know, trying to pull out pin feathers. Because in the one video I was even watching, when she pulled up the crest, like that's my pretend crest, there was like 3 really noticeable blood feathers. Birds can actually bleed to death very, very quickly, and you need like something to be able to stop it. Like one lady used, I want to say she squeezed it with a wrench, or not a wrench, you know, some sort of tool that stopped it. But you also like the stop, I don't know what it's called, that you use for dog nails. I would think that would be sufficient as well. But I hope that answers your question. Let me look in here. No, it's not a silly question. They don't really play together, but it's mostly because of Earl. Yeah, I don't want to say your first name wrong, but Coleman is the last. That's, yeah, they do speak very clearly. Gizmo and Cosmo are really awesome. Well, I'm doing my best. I'm not like the best editor or things like that, but hey, Buster, let's stay over here, okay? Everybody wants to see you. Everybody wants to see you, buddy. Go play with your toys. You got all your brushes out. You got everything out. Thank you, sir. Oh, I love bluebirds. Yeah, the 12 hours of sleep is extremely important. Oh, thank you, Amanda. Let me see if I can figure out how to do that. They're not available, so I'll have to tell Anna that. Yes, that's the name of it. I think it's Brazen is your name. Oh yeah, Otalo is something else. African Greys are really smart. You know, Earl's just older and kind of, but I mean, I still work with him and everything, but he doesn't communicate back and forth, but he's starting to, I think. When the kids were over this weekend, he actually was mocking their puppy. Well, he's kind of done it all week, where the puppy was whining, and he was, oh, you saying hello to everybody. He was kind of whining like the puppy the next day and yesterday. And then he was talking in the little boy's voice. He was saying some stuff that he picked up him saying. So he was a little nervous at first, but then, you know, he came around. Right, Earl? We had fun, didn't we? Yeah. Flour works too. I've used that. I've used cornstarch. When Charlie was a puppy, I clipped his nail too short and he bled, and all I had was cornstarch. Arrowroot powder works. Kind of just basically anything you can like stuff it with. Buster's he's working really. So he's got his, can I see him? He's got his toothbrush in one of the little rings that a viewer sent him. And he's just trying to like put it together. It's actually really neat when you like watch him, or pretty much any cockatoo. This is kind of like, I don't know if it's how they enrich themselves or entertain or whatever, but it's neat to watch his brain try to work. What are you doing, Earl? What are you doing? Don't you try to, don't call me a jerk. He said ow. Look at this one. Look, there's an eyeball. Whoop, 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 whoop. There's the pink one. Good job, Earl. Oh, thank you, Ricky. Yeah, thank you, Rosie. Yeah, pretty much all birds. Oh, thank you, Bird Love. I'm sorry, I'm behind the camera, so I try to get up and go more towards the camera when I'm not reading comments. Oh, really? I I know we did I don't know what you call it. It's not a collab. I guess an advertisement with Zupreme. They offered to send free Zupreme, which is my favorite. Zupreme and Higgins is my favorite. And then they promoted it. And I guess somebody called me one day and like, I saw Buster and your husband on Facebook on an ad for Supreme. I can't find it. I didn't even know it, and I know he doesn't know it, but it's just kind of funny. But I did reach out to Scrub Daddy and asked him, but I don't think they do collabs. But I just thought it would be funny. But they probably don't want to show what Buster, that they can be destroyed like they can, is what I figure. There he goes getting in the, he's looking for another toothbrush, I think. I found some at Pop Shelf the other day. There was like 5 or 6 for a couple dollars. And I got him some. What's up, Earl? The sky. You give me that look like Buster does. There goes the mess maker. Yeah, they do. Yeah, he does. He actually does have an ad where it's actually really funny, the video I did. My husband laid on the floor and he came out running, and then he got into the bowl to eat it. So it was cute. Mr. Coffee Bar. What are we trying to do here, Buster? I guess it's my fault because I'm always telling him to help me fold the laundry. And I only let him help me with my, cleaning rags because he'll tear them up. Huh, Earl? Earl, the rain got you down? You're usually the star of the show when we do lives. Oh, yeah. What? Yeah, he always does. I don't know. Honestly, I think he's the master of the house. Yeah, he did try. I gave him an A for effort because he did really try. He has a lot more fun throwing things out and tossing it though than putting things back. What are you doing, Buster? Like I said, I played music for him about a half hour before, trying to pump him up. Buster sang a little bit, was on the trash cans. So he busted another trash can. This is my third one, I think, in 6 months. So I ordered one to be delivered with my grocery order, and they sent me a hefty trash can with a Sterilite trash can lid. So I took it back and I went to look for another one, and none of the trash cans have a matching lid. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm trying to look into some stainless steel options. But I don't want one that's like the touchless, because then my dog's tails will open it, and a couple of my dogs are trash pickers. Yeah. Maybe Amanda. I know somebody reached out to me today about doing a video for some dog shampoo, and I think I'm gonna write back and I'll do it if they'll send some extra for our local dog pound. So one of the crazier ones I got was one, well, there's two, for one of the snoring apparatuses or whatever. There's some little anti-snore thing. I almost did it to make like just a funny video of, because Buster and Dad take naps, but I didn't feel like fooling with that. I don't want it. And then one was a one of those boats that like go super super fast. I don't know what the heck they thought, like I was gonna put Buster on that or something, but there was no way. And I don't do much around the waters here because we have gators and snakes. Amanda, I always forget you have turtles, so that's really cool. Morning, Doreen. I have actually a friend in Ohio that has the big turtles, and she lets him go out in the yard, and she puts an orange flag on him, and he walks around. You preening, Earl? Cleaning yourself up? I think too, like with pin feathers, is probably like, everyone certain times of the year, like, it's coming on spring, which we here in the South, we don't go from winter to spring. We have like 40-degree or 20-degree, and then it's 80. Oh, hi, Ricky. Yeah, no, I don't live in Tennessee, but I love Tennessee. It's my dream state. We have family there that we're really close to. So I told Willie, like, if I step out for a minute, we have a delivery coming today, and I just have to run out and tell him where to set it. So, like I said, my daughter's in the background. She doesn't like to be on the live, but she'll be managing the birds. It'll just take me a minute. Buster, don't chew on that basket. That was a big mistake putting that basket there. Thank you. doing your dino steps. But anyway, I just got a text. I guess they're 2 stops away. So at some point, I am gonna have to run out there really quickly. So you guys have to babysit. Just kidding. Yeah, but Buddy's in the room. I tried to leave him out, but he was having a good morning, and then he went outside and I couldn't find him, and so I got his busy bones in there, and he's resting. But also, when the delivery truck gets here, any of you that have headphones on or your volume up loud, my dogs are going to go insane. Come here, Bussy. Come on. Gotta encourage you, don't I? Come on. Oh, on the coffee bar. I can't really go over there because the tripod freaks him out, but I have duct tape on my one trash can because he completely tore the pop-off piece off. Oh, you're welcome, Amanda. Yeah, that's kind of part of it. They were laying by, or Buddy was laying, and Buster was kind of playing around him this morning, not dancing or anything, but so I was going to leave him out because, like I said, he was doing really well, but then he, just kind of started. So I needed to do what was best for him. I'm gonna move my egg over here. What you doing, Earl? What you gonna talk today? You gonna talk? You running your hammer? What's up? What? Yeah, Earl does like to go for rides. Probably not today with all this rain. I hate driving in the rain. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Ricky, what part of Ohio are you from? Yeah, I'm gonna look for one eventually, but he really likes that little carrier that I have right now, even though he can't see. I kind of like it too because I actually took him in a store last week to try it out, and only one person noticed him. And I kind of like that. I don't like a bunch of fuss. So, but I like that one too because it's netted, so air goes through it. Some of those acrylic ones can get really hot, and we live in a really hot climate. So it would have to have a stainless steel door and proper ventilation. But it's something I've been looking into, but I'm only going to get one if I can find one used because they're super expensive, and I don't mind to buy one if I knew they were going to get use from it, but I don't like to be wasteful either. So if I find one reasonable that's used and my birds don't use it, then I can just donate it. What? Is that your word of the day? I've heard of Benjamin the Best Bird. That's funny because that's where I went. I went to a thrift store. Becky, I don't know how old he is. All I know is that he's an adult male. Oh, you're way up there. Okay. I was in the southern part of the state. I know. Oh, thank you on the spot. Um, they're good. I was gonna mention too. I get this a lot, so I'm gonna start trying to remember to bring it up. You know, maybe not every live, but in some lives. I Buster does chew plastic, wood, uh, toys, and things like that. It's good for his beak. He also likes to flip a lot of these dustpans. You'll see him, he likes flipping. He does not ingest it. He does not ingest the cloth. He does not ingest the plastic. It's just a chew thing. Um, I would not do that with a smaller bird. I feel like it's safe for my bird, works for us. Buster's only had 3 slight beak trims in 3 years, so he does a really good job managing his beak, and it keeps him busy. And it's hard to keep Buster busy. If you see some of his, crazier videos, keeping him busy while Dad's at work is, a full-time job, to be honest. So I'm not worried about that. I get comments all the time that I'm killing him and all that, but this has been going on for 4 years, so I'm not saying you should do that with your bird, but it works for us. Earl doesn't do it. Earl doesn't really play with toys a whole lot. He likes to play ball. Earl's getting down in his box. But other than that, really, he has a little bucket in his cage. Is that funny, Earl? That he really likes to ding around and make some noise with it. But yeah, he's not much of one to play. We're still working on that. He does like when my daughter comes over and they play soccer and stuff like that. But rest assured, I'm, not perfect, I know, but like I'm doing my best to keep my birds safe. Earl thought that was funny. Buster, come out here. Why are you guys hiding? I think the rain kind of just has him in like a mood. Does me, huh, Earl? What are you hiding in there, Earl? Come here. Come here. He had his breakfast it was a late breakfast, but I guess brunch. He had it the same time I had mine. Huh, Earl? What? 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 Earl, what are you doing? Come here. Earl, come here. Come out here. Let me get you a box. Here. Here. Come up here and play with your box. Here, come up here. Oh, you got that box tore up. Come up there and play with your box. Come here. Oh, you're getting your little feet. Your little soccer feet. Here, look. Don't. Tell me don't. Ouch. Ouch. Come up here. Come here. Come play with your box. Ouch. Come on. Buster, come here. I don't know. Yeah, Einstein's cool. I watch him when I can. Um, yeah, they are. Ugh. I'm in South Carolina near Georgia. Oh, thank you, Sharp, because a lot of people don't like my voice, apparently. Which I don't like my voice. I don't like to hear my voice either, but it's like having a child. Birds are really like having toddlers, small children. Look here. Don't you try to get me, mister. Here. Here. I got Buster a couple passies from, what is that called? Timu. And he actually did like them, but he completely deconstructed them. Like, they were gone. I can look that up, I think. Hang on. I don't know why it's not letting me copy and paste it. Brazen, well, number one, I appreciate that, and you can look up, hang on, let me see if I can find one. When I Google it, there's 3 that show up. Magnolia Bird Sanctuary. I don't know if they. Okay, it says many of their parrots are available for adoption. Rogers Wildlife Rehabilitation and Wings of Love Bird Haven. So you might want to just, if you Google that, you might be able to find that. I hope that helps, but thank you. Oh, thank you. I know. He hasn't said that at all. He really is just kind of, like I said, I think it's just kind of the rain and maybe a little bit of the, just like the change. Our weather has kind of been all over the place this past week. Wouldn't you agree, Willie? You know, it's just kind of like hot, and then it's just like really nice, and then back down in the 60s, which is, you know, a little cooler for us. So You were the East Texas question. I know, sanctuaries often are. There's a lady on TikTok, Bandit. She has Bandit. Um, she's like said it perfectly. Sanctuary is basically an insane asylum for a bird. It's basically what it is. And but there are some rescues that also call themselves a sanctuary. So, oh, you tossing? Oh, he broke that in two. So he met his goal, I guess. I don't know if you can see him. He's kind of behind Earl's cage there. Here he comes. So he broke that handle off of that. By the way, the scrub things that I buy him, the brushes and stuff, they're new. They're not, I don't use them. Like, I've never scrubbed anything with that. I clean them when I get them, and that's his toys. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a mess. Yeah. Buster, I call him, he's a land shark. Floor shark. I have to wash my toes. I had my sandals on earlier. I went and put my tennis shoes on because he really tries to get my toes when I have my sandals on. But there was a break in the rain, so I went out and took care of the chickens. Yeah, I know it's kind of boring today. I'm sorry. Earl, you gonna come up here, sir? Earl, here, come up here. And I might, like, as the weather gets nicer and things, because Buster loves to be outside, even like in his aviary. I might try to do little, like, lives, pop-up lives when I can, with Earl, having floor time. So I might try to do stuff like that. I'll just have to see, how it goes. I got some really good video of Buster yesterday on a rant. He was definitely talking about work, and I haven't listened to it with my headphones, or I gotta subtitle it this weekend, but I swear in the one he says bam bam. But I think, we listen to a lot of music here, and I think a lot of, other than work, Action Park and all that, and Albert, I think he picks up a lot of just like little words from music and then tries to like scramble them into a sentence. Yeah, that's true. Oh, thank you. And Grayson, let us know if you find something. And thank you for, thank you for wanting to rescue. It, honestly too, like, a bird will pick you, and it's great to work with a rescue. For that reason, because they can help you, find a best suited type of pair, for your living situation and all of that. So I really appreciate that, you asking that and being willing to adopt a bird. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I go back and forth about them. I do have like one for Earl. It's like a sandy perch. He doesn't stand on it, but it's a chewable one too. And he just chews on it because of his scissor beak. I feel like it's a good thing for him. But I'm not sure, when we were at the vet this week, Earl had a little like spot that he had rubbed on the side of his beak, and it was a little, like, it's okay now, it went away, but it was a little irritated. I do have a mineral block for him too, which helps with chewing. But he has a wavy perch that he likes to sleep on, and it's like stone, and I wrap it with medical tape because I just think it will be uncomfortable. And his feet were a little, I don't know, they just looked sore when I first got him. Of course, he was a hot mess when I first got him. He really was. I think another couple of weeks in his situation, he wouldn't have made it. But yeah, I'm not. I go back and forth about that kind of thing. Buster keeps his sharp with wood and the plastics toys that he has and stuff. He had one little spot on the one side of his bottom beak that he had to be trimmed this time. That's why he was really upset. Really, was that. And Earl's looked really good. They did go ahead. I think they trimmed his nails this time too. I think, which he does a pretty good job keeping his nails intact. Buster's issue really is more his nails, not his not his beak. I don't know that one. I'll try to copy that and look that up. Oh. Earl just yawned. He's tired. Thanks. Yeah, Willie. That's true. And Amanda, I'm pretty sure they're lost. I think sometimes when Buster gets up there, he'll start to talk. But I don't know if you guys can see, but Earl has his little foot up. His little claw is up like this, so he's happy. He's just chilling. It's starting to really start to rain, so I figure the delivery people are going to get here because I'm going to get soaked. And my umbrellas are in the car. I know. Or no fart noises, no toots, nothing. Yeah, I know. I'm probably gonna have to shut my back door. He just said so. Yeah, even my chickens, like, they roosted up in their house. It's porn. I'm gonna actually walk over, like, because sometimes when I leave the room, Buster will talk. Are you allowed up there, sir? Sorry, when I go out of the room, he'll usually talk, but he's not supposed to be on the coffee bar. So I had to intervene. Sorry. You waving, Earl? Buster, off the coffee bar. Go on. Hey, off the coffee bar. Thank you, sir. Even though the trash can's not much better, but that trash can's trash already, so. Yeah. Yeah, they do. A lot of times. Buster, off the coffee bar. Why don't you get up there on your perch there? Thank you. And tell you the story. I'll walk away again. Buster, you want to talk? Buster, can you sing a song? Sometimes when I ask him, he will. Bus, will you sing us a song, please? Sing a pretty song. Come on. Let's get fired up, Buster. Let's get fired up. Thank you, Earl. Opening the door for me. The rain kind of settled down again, so. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the truth, Willie. Yeah, he did. This time, this trash can lid, he literally snapped. It has a little push button, and he literally snapped the whole entire push button off. I don't even know where it went. I assume it fell down in the trash can, but I can't even find it. I mean, he didn't like take it under his little hidey hole area over there. But I've never been able to find it. And when I took the trash can back with the two different, one was it was a hefty trash can with a Sterilite lid. When I took it back, I went and looked, and pretty much none of the trash cans they had with lids matched any of them. So there's a bunch of people out there that have got one trash can with a different style lid. But anyway, that's my dilemma. But I do need to go find one because, you know, we do throw a lot of the food we slop to our chickens, but occasionally things get down in there, especially like chicken bones. And my dog, especially Max, cannot have those. It really messes with his digestive system. So I've got to get another trash can. And honestly, I think when I find one, I'm hoping they have two so that I can have one as a backup. Because this is a reoccurring problem. Yeah, I do that sometimes actually. There's a couple videos I have of Earl where I just turn the camera on and recorded him for about 20 minutes when he was talking and just like walked out of the room. But I think I've done that twice. And then my husband was watching TV in the background and you can really hear the TV. I don't know what it is about iPhones, but they pick up background noise better than they pick up the noise in front of you. But I did buy a little microphone to attach to my, that's supposed to drown some of that out. So I might try that again soon. Like I said, the weather's starting to get better where Buster can be outside, you know, a little bit. And then I usually, well, I kind of got away from walking after my surgery, but I'm slowly getting back into it now where I walk Max like a mile out back at night, sometimes more when I can. I don't know if anybody's interested in that kind of video or not, but some people are, some people aren't. But I think one of my proudest dog achievements is teaching Max how to walk on a leash. Because Max was tied to a tree with 2 leashes, and all he could do was spin in a circle around that tree. Buster, don't bother the basket, please. Come here. And it literally took me a year to teach Max to walk in a straight line. And still to this day, when he gets nervous, he is a very anxious dog. He spins. And it just, you know, it's like a PTSD, honestly. Come on. I know how to get Buster. That's a good idea. Oh, he would destroy a wooden trash can. It would be toothpicks. Yeah, that's true. That's good. Willie, that's good advice too. I have no idea how old Buster is. I know he's an adult. I know that because of behaviors and hormones and things like that. I don't want to speculate how old he is, but I don't believe the age I was told that he was. I think people want to tell you that their birds are younger than what they are because they think it makes them more adoptable. And I'm in my 50s, so I actually don't want a baby bird. So I would really like to adopt a small parrot later on this year. Something, you know, we're really considering, but I want it to be older. I don't want, you know, a newly hatched little parrot. It's not fair. So that's just for me. And I do have kids that would be willing to take it and everything, but you know, that's just what I'm gonna wait and do. Buster, leave the basket alone, please. Like Amanda mentioned too, some of that, good listening. Some of that is because Buddy's in the room. And Buster loves his buddy. Thank you for being here, Nadia. I've had Buster 4 years. Oh, I was going to talk about some things like that we do that, you know, you need to really know your bird first. One thing is I have ceiling fans. It's hot where I live, and even with air conditioning, we need the additional help. My birds don't fly. They don't fly up. I know sometimes it looks like Buster's closer to one than he really is. But rest assured, for us, that is not an issue. With flying birds, absolutely do not do it. And But because I want to be responsible in what I show to people, later this year, hopefully, fingers crossed, later this year, we are going to get new ceiling fans in the kitchen and living room that have the cage around it. It's like an actual like metal fan. 'Cause like I said, we have to have ceiling fans. We have to have the air. So, but I feel really hypocritical almost, and I don't want to send the wrong message that, yeah, ceiling fans are completely safe. It's just they work in our situation. So that is something, you know, that is on our list of things to do. Now, we're not going to change them in our bedroom or anything. Honestly, our ceiling fan in our bedroom is only on pretty much in the evening and when Buster is in bed. So, and if I'm in there working and Earl's in there with me on his stand, Earl cannot fly. He can only go straight down. I call him a kamikaze. He kamikazes down off of what he's on, and he's not able to fly because of his feet. Oh, that's okay. Another thing, now this is something we do have done. So you have to be really careful about your cookware or self-cleaning ovens. So we use cast iron and stainless steel. I do have a electric skillet, but it's one that has checked out to be okay. My crock pot is safe. It's not lined with like T-foul or anything. But I think a lot of birds actually, that's how they, is from exposure to non-stick cookware. So that's something really important to know. You know, any of you that are watching that are interested in acquiring a bird, please do a lot of research on things like that, because you'd be surprised some of the surprising things that our birds are sensitive to and can die from. And please choose a rescue. Buster, what are you doing? Looky here. So that would have been my toe. Did you see him grab that? That could have been my toe. Yes, their respiratory system is way different than any other creature that I know of. I don't. You might know that, Willie. I don't know. But yeah, their respiratory system is really, and even with the stainless steel, I don't know all these codes and stuff because they change them all the time, but woo, Buster, you really got that one. That went far. Look at you. There's certain ones you're supposed to use. He's getting pretty excited. Oh, another thing I get a lot of is the avian flu. My birds were raised, I got them from a lady who hatched them herself and all that. And I know they can be in droppings and all that, but mine, I'm not allowed to free range actually where I live. And we do hope later this year to make a little, what they call a chicken tractor, so I can push them out front, let them eat some grass. We actually pick grass for them and put it in there every day. And they get plenty of nutrition and sun. But I'm not worried about the avian flu where my flock is. I feel like it's all safe and all good. I get a lot of slack about not letting them in the yard. Number one, again, I'm not allowed to where I'm at. Um, and two, I would not let them graze in the backyard because I have 5 dogs. So, and even though I scoop my yard pretty much every day, um, it just grosses me out. So sometime we'd like to get a chicken tractor made and put them out, wheel them out front and let them chew around in the grass. But that's not something that I'm concerned with. Um, but I always suggest you do your own research, you do, but I'm not worried about that. And honestly, if it's, from my understanding, it's way better anyway. But if that's the case, he would be just as much of an issue in his aviary. So if I'm going to be like that, he can't go outside at all, which is not good for him because he loves to be outside. You can see on the days that it rained for a couple weeks straight and it was cold and he didn't get to go out. I mean, he's like going to the door trying to sneak out every day. Like, he loves to be outside. So that it's not an issue for me, but I do appreciate, people, I do really appreciate people chiming in because that might be good for somebody else. I always ask you use kindness. We're kind of sick of the jerks, aren't we, Earl? But honestly, I think you guys would agree the jerks are probably 1% of the whole channel. And so overall, YouTube has been a great experience for us. It's my favorite platform. And initially, when I first got started, I think I had more negative there than TikTok. I don't post as much on TikTok anymore, but yeah, YouTube is my favorite platform. So I appreciate you guys. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, smoking is really bad too around them. I don't know a lot really. I mean, we're all always learning things, but yeah, good. That's good, Brazen. Am I saying that correctly? A chicken tractor is going to be for my birds. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, the chicken tractor. If you Google them, you can kind of you can even actually take like a large dog kennel and just put a couple wheels on it and a handle, and you can push it around your yard. A lot of people do that in states where they're not allowed to free range. But I'm in a residential area, so I don't feel safe even letting them free range anyway. Because, I have my one neighbor, they have a dog, and if the chicken got over there and, something could happen. So I don't, but like I said, I'm not allowed to do it anyway. In Ohio, my birds free ranged all day. I let them out in the morning, even if it was cold. They went outside every single day. My ducks free ranged every single day. But, I'm doing what I can do, and eggs are expensive right now, so. And I'll tell you, my birds are living in a much better area than what you look up, even organically raised chickens that you get their eggs at the store. Look up the conditions they live. Our birds are living pretty good. Yeah, my Buster has a roof on his aviary, but it doesn't. I mean, birds can still get in them, and they're still, out and about. But I might still be going on in some places. I'm not really hearing anything of it like before. I do know they're trying to change some laws about bird keeping, or not chicken owners, since it is. I don't know what people have against chickens. During World War II, you were encouraged to keep chickens and grow gardens, victory gardens, and and all that. So I don't get like where people don't like birds. I understand like maybe not wanting a rooster in a residential area, but I don't get not what's wrong with having a few chickens in a residential area. I really don't. Maybe it's just me. Uh, heat lamps for chickens. Is that what you're asking me? JA, are you asking me if how I feel about heat lamps for chickens? Let me know, because I'll answer that. No, I mean mine are fine, so you know. I don't use heat lamps here. I don't need them, and I don't use a light. I did in Ohio because it was cold, so we did have a heat lamp through the winter. You got to be careful. You got to make sure they're plugged up correctly, you know, because it's how a lot of fires start. I did use a light in Ohio because you know, I was trying to supplement my income some with raising eggs. I really didn't, but so in the winter or during the dark season, I did use a light to help with better egg production. So, and I also raised meat chickens. I mean, I'm not saying I disagree with only being allowed to have so many. And I get if you choose to live in an HOA, you know, you have to follow the rules. That's what you're paying for. Buster, don't bother the basket, please. Come here. But I just don't see anything wrong with keeping a couple chickens out back either. So, or, you know, having a garden. I know a lot of HOAs don't even allow a backyard garden. But again, you know, if that's the choice you make to live in, I understand that. But with the bird shortage, and it's not just the avian flu, there's a lot of things going on with the bird shortage. I think if somebody wants to keep a couple chickens to supplement their, you know, their food, you know, I just don't have a problem with it. You got to keep them clean and stuff too. I know there's a lot of areas, you know, to that, but there's a lot of perks to having chickens as well. Yeah, I mean, oh, good. Yeah, we passed some of them when I went to Alabama one time. Alabama has some too, but the ones we passed were empty. Yeah, I agree, Amanda. But you know, I guess if you get into it. Oh wow, I couldn't imagine not being able to have a dog. Yeah, like I said, in Ohio, I used a heat lamp when the temperatures were below zero, and wind chill factors and things like that. And I did use a light, a white light, so that they would lay better in the winter. I did that for just a few months. But I had like pretty big operation up there. So, well, to me it was. I had like 45 chickens, I think, before we moved. And then, you know, people where we used to live, people would get a bunch of chickens in the spring, and then they get tired of them, or they would get 6 roosters, and so, you know, we supplemented and used them for meat birds as well. That's how I got so many chickens. People gave them to me, dogs too. Um, so I had people constantly like, "Do you want my chickens?" So, and actually, that's happened here already a couple times. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I love hummingbirds too. Actually, it's almost time for me to hang my hummingbird feeders back up. Yeah, from my understanding, in our state anyway, they're trying to modify some laws to allow that. Um, at least temporarily because of the shortage. So, eggs do seem to be down a little. I still buy about a dozen a week from the store because they're easier. My husband eats eggs for breakfast at work every day, and they're easier to hard boil. And then, we only have a few chickens, so it doesn't supplement all the eggs that we use in a week. Also, JA, I don't know if you do this, but I actually cook my chickens um, an egg every week, and then I supplement oyster shell as well, and it helps them not eat eggs. One of my chickens has been eating an egg. I haven't figured out which one yet, so I up my oyster shell, and I feed them. I scramble an egg or two a week and mix up in their slop, and it's gotten better. So that's something I do as well. I know people think that's gross, but a lot of people actually dehydrate their eggshells, crush them up, and put them back in their feed, and then they won't eat their eggs. So. Yeah, I don't use lights here. Um, I don't feel like I need to. And, we had days where we only getting one egg or no eggs for about a month. And then everybody was going like crazy about the feed. Um, I personally, I think the feed issue is that where the supply chain was down, some of it was moldy. Because I did see some of my feed that I had to get rid of. But I also supplement. I do split peas, black sunflower seeds, mealworms, and if it's cold, I use corn. Corn raises their body heat. So when it's really cold here, I give them a handful of corn. And I'm not having any trouble. Pumpkin is good for them. I throw out some pumpkin here and there. In Ohio, people used to give me, after Halloween, I got all their pumpkins and squash and all that. And it's super good for them, natural dewormer, all that. My chickens loved it. So I would go collect everybody's, pumpkins and throw them out to the ducks and the chickens, and they would eat them. I think Buff Orpington is good. I'd love to have a buff. Actually, I had a bunch of them. The Rhode Island Red. The buffs are a little quieter. That's kind of what I wanted here. Because my Rhode Island Reds and my Americanas are loud. I have a leg bar mixed, and even though her egg is like a dark olive green, she lays better than my Americanas. But Americanas, you're gonna get 3 to 5 eggs a week at best for 3 years. So I really like Buff Orpingtons are my favorite. Barred Rock, I think they're really good. And the Rhode Island Reds. Those would be my top 3. But the Buffs are quieter. I think they're better city birds. Yeah. Yeah, he found a shell, I think. I might actually, well, they're pretty much all endangered right now. I don't mean to laugh, it's not funny. I laugh at inappropriate things. It's not, don't hold it against me, it's like a nervous thing. But to me, pretty much, you know, we have a shortage of chickens. But I just needed easier ones to raise. But I do wish that I had a little bit quieter chickens, because I don't want, you know, the neighbors to complain. My neighbors on one side, they don't care. And now that I have better egg production, I can probably give them some eggs here and there too. So. Buster's just chilling. Yeah, you know, I really just think it's like the weather with them. I'll try to walk out of the room again. And Amanda, my delivery still has not come. Well, you guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this because Buddy's kind of starting to scratch at the door, and I do have a delivery coming soon, maybe, or maybe not at all, not sure. But I appreciate you guys. After any of you that missed the live, maybe put your questions in the afterlife section, because I can't go back to look at these. I'm sure you probably can. I just have not figured it out. But if you wait until the live is over and posted, and you ask questions there, we'll try to keep up with them and do them next week. Let me look at my. I don't see any reason why I can't do another live next Thursday. And if it's nice this weekend and Buster's out, I might try to do a little pop-up live with Earl scrolling the floor. Is that funny, Earl? But thank you guys. We appreciate you. Have a good day.